Hope you guys are doing well. So talking about the video, so as you have already seen in an intro that this video will be based upon how to use the material design buttons inside our Android project and its relative interactive transitions and other components related to the material button. Buttons allows the users to take actions and make choices with a single tap, we all know, but having an interactive button also makes the user interface and the user interaction with the app much more, and more the interactions, more will be the analytics related to the application. And this demo will not only provide you the preview how the button components work, but also will be discuss about its variations and the configuration options. Now there are different types of buttons in this material design guidelines, which is built by the Google developers, and we'll be covering each and every phase of this material buttons. And there are multiple uses of the buttons, like we use buttons inside the dialogues or the model windows which pops up, and some sort of cards or toolbars. So but in every place we use a different style of button, it's not constant every place. So we will be covering each and every component of the buttons and its principle, and also will relate to the material guidelines of it. So without wasting much of a time, let's get started. So as we have covered the gist of the topics what we want to cover in this video, so let's just quickly dive into the types of buttons that we are going to cover in this video. The very first one is the contain button. So the contain button is the one in which we have a filled color background, opaque background, and a text in the foreground. So these kind of buttons you usually see during the submission tabs, which means when you have completed an action, you click OK or done, then that's a very prominent place to use the contain button. The next type of buttons are the text button. So these kind of buttons are usually placed in the places which you already had set a background, so you don't want to place another background over the second background, so it look disruptive. So those are the places where we use text button kind of thing. So this is just a normal button. When you press it, you feel it, you have a ripple around it, and it behaves as a button. And the third type of button is our outline button. So outline button is similar to contain button, but with a transparent background and with an outline around it. So this also creates a ripple, and these kinds of buttons are usually used to minimalist your application, to match if you don't want to create much colorful palettes to your activity or a fragment, then we use outline buttons to make it minimalistic and look subtle. All the types of button which we are going to implement in this activity, let's just quickly jump into a layered file and design the buttons. But before that, if you are not you are totally a beginner and you're new to this, then you just go and watch our previous video of the Android project structure, how to set up the project. The card will be floating on the top of the window, and for those who already know, let's just get into the layout file. Now I have already inserted a text view to save our time, so let's just not waste our time and directly add our tag for the material button. So in order to access this tag, you first have to import the dependency into the app level build.gradle file, which whose address I'll be mentioning in the top of the window. So once you import it, you just have to build the project, and then you will be able to access this tag. So in order to use the material button, you just have to type material by opening a tag, and the first option will be coming material button. Just open it and do this functionality. I'll just type text material button, and I'll give it some padding of 15 dp. I'll set the text size to 18 sp, and that's it. Now, so why it's red? Because this is a constraint layout. I have made a full video on the constraint layout too, so you can just access the card on the top of the window. So I'll just give the constraint straight away. Yeah, no need to give all the four, but just for the convenience I'm providing. So here our basic project has been set up. So this button which you are able to see on a window is the component button, which is the basic contained button of the material view. So with no style applied, this is a basic button. So let's just quickly run the activity and see how this button looks in the real application. Then we will seeing the other forms of the button too. Bingo. So we're here in the emulator. So on pressing of this, you can see there's a beautiful ripple effect, and our button is functional. Now, in order to change the styles of the button, which we just discussed in our previous slides, so you just have to add another tag which says style, and once you add the style, you just have to write the material button. So on the first, you just have to access this class material components dot button. So this gives you the normal contained button, but on press of dot you can access all the subclasses of the material button, such as outline button. This is how it looks, outline button. Then text button, only text without borders. So let's just use outline button. So along with it, we will also use that how we can modify the button more. So you can, with the material button, you can even change the ripple color, which you saw. So currently it's purplish, so we can change it to by accessing ripple color to white. So this will change the ripple color, and we can also change the shape of the button by providing the radius. So here is the tag. So if you provide the corner radius, you can see your shape of the button will get changed. So this way you can add multiple functionalities to the button. So you need not to design or separate tags for each and every button. You just have to fiddle with some properties of the material button, and you can create some cool activities with this. So you can see on pressing of this is producing a white ripple, which you are not able to see on the white background. So we'll just change it to black. And you can also add elevation to this button, so it really looks cool. So when you add elevation to the button, so this makes a button look more tactile to it. So whenever a user press it, the user will be feeling that he's actually pressing a button. And you can, the cool thing is you can also add a huge amount of animations and sound effects to it. So we'll be covering that in our future videos, but let's just quickly elevate this button. So you can elevate the button by inserting the elevation tag. So once you elevate the button, you just have to provide the size of the elevation. Let's just make it 10. So okay, 10 gives you a shabby look because this is a outline button, so that's why. So if this will go if you remove the background of the material button. So let's just keep it 10 and change it to normal button and change the background into white and text color to black. Okay, cool. See, you can do a hell lot of things using this material components properties. So now the ripple has changed to black, and you can see on pressing of this I'm getting this shadow on the bottom, which gives you a very cool look to the button. And this doesn't happen in your normal style button if you don't import this class. And good thing is you can also add shadows to the text. So currently the material button is quite bland, so if you want to add shadows to it, you just have to add the shadow color. And you can make a shadow color as yellow and make shadow shadow radius to 5. See, now when you run this, you'll be seeing another level of cool button. Yeah, we are here. Yeah, so So this way you can add functionalities to the button. I hope you like the video. So I'll be bringing more such short videos to understand the material components, to understand these functionalities that you can add to your project to make it look more flashy and user interactive. So this is for the video. Take care, guys. Bye bye.